Okay, welcome back. Crunch, crunch. Here we go. Y'all, I think this is episode 4. And how are we doing without intro music? Are you guys good that we just get into it? No chaser. No chaser. No, nothing. Let me tell you, part of the reason why I am doing this so chaotically, one, is the only way it was ever going to get done. I have wanted to do this forever. And then my brain starts going, well, you need this and you need this and you need this. And there are all these things that you need that you actually kind of don't need, or you do need, but you want it to look like Amy Poehler's Good Hang, who just won a Golden Globe for Best Podcast, or you want it to look really good. But I don't have Amy Poehler money or Amy Poehler backers, and I love her. Here's my hope. Here's my hope is that if you're watching this and there's something you want to do, nothing would make me happier than somehow down the road, this sucker becomes popular and this becomes a great podcast. And we can go back and we can look at these first episodes and how just the production quality is a little lackluster. Like right now, Cliff is in a box right now. Like he wants to be in it, but I'm not letting him. He can't be on it. But my goal, I would love nothing more. This little sucker to take off and the story to be, it took off without any money and without me knowing what I was doing. Because this is not just about me getting out there and pursuing my dream. This is also, I hope that we're creating a blueprint and a roadmap for all of you ladies out there and the fun men. Fun men, you're welcome to join in. I've said it before, I'll say it again, y'all. In my sketches, sunglasses were my calling card, not because I wanted sunglasses to be my calling card. I didn't know where the camera was on my phone, but I wanted to make y'all laugh. And I didn't want the story to be, look at this lady who doesn't know where the camera is on her phone. So I put in my sunglasses so no one would know that I didn't know where I was looking. My first 2 years of recording content, I would have to get everything in the first shot because I didn't know how to edit videos. I had no idea. When I discovered CapCut and I learned how I could splice things together, it was a whole new world. I was like Ariel. It was a whole new world. So I will fully attest, ladies, please do not let the fact that you don't know what you're doing keep you from doing it, whatever it was that the Lord put you on earth to do. Today's better look, it comes straight from the Rush Bible. Comes straight from my friend Trisha Adipex. She saw the first podcast and she was like, I like it. I think it's great. But she was like, wait a minute. I have a camera that I think you can use. Thank you. Thank you, Trisha, for sending me this camera. So hopefully you like it. We're just going to keep getting better. We're going to build this plane in the air. So if you're watching today, I just posted a doctor in Alabama has been arrested. And it looks like she was arrested because she left a pad of Adipex at a Walgreens and she was filling prescriptions. She was writing prescriptions for Adipex. I don't know the whole story. I'm not going to let a few facts get in the way of a good story. If I'm being honest with you, that's the story I want to roll with because that's funny. From what I can tell, this lady was doing the Lord's work. She should be celebrated. If you were in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you probably remember when Phen Phen came on the market and y'all, we got skinny. Honey, Phen Phen made us skinny and Lord, we were crazy. We were crazy and who cared? We couldn't sleep, but Lord, we were all in a size single digit. I mean, we were like, we didn't know we could be that skinny until Adipex came on. Well, it was Phen Phen and then we had the Phen Phen trials because come to find out it was killing us. Moment of silence for my mother who couldn't take it because she had a heart problem and the doctor. How bad did your heart problem have to be that the doctor was like, I don't think we should do it? If in 1994 through 97, a doctor wouldn't write you a prescription for Phen Phen because your heart was too bad, honey, it was bad. It was bad. So I got my first prescription for Phen Phen in Memphis. I think my very first round of Phen Phen came from my Aunt Jen. God rest her soul, who's no longer with us. She snuck me a few. She said, hide this from your mama. She doesn't want you on it. But she snuck me a few Phen Phen. Honey, that stuff worked. I think I got about 300 calories a week on that stuff and would not sleep. Then my mother was like, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So we did go to the doctor. I can still remember the way my mama's eyeballs popped out of her eyes when she saw that the doctor wrote me down as being small boned, that I had a frail frame. Honey, I came out of the womb walking. All right. I drove us home. My mom gave birth to me and I pulled over and picked up a pack of smokes. That's not true. My mother didn't smoke. She quit smoking by the time she had me. She did smoke when she was pregnant with my brother. She will tell you too that it was not that bad because back then the doctor would smoke with you. Congratulations, you're pregnant, and then they would smoke. But by the time she had me, she had quit smoking. So I did not stop for cigarettes. Although if she wanted me to, I would have, because I was an 80s baby. It was the late 70s, and that's what you did. The other time I got on Adipex, I went with my girlfriend Heather Franklin. She is a preacher's wife in the Mississippi Delta. Honey, she is just bringing people to Jesus. But I knew Heather back when we would tell our mamas we were going shopping in Memphis, Tennessee, and we actually went to West Memphis, Arkansas. And you got the prescription, and then it was like, no, honey, you just go right across the street and they'll fill it for you. And it was kind of implied, like, don't be taking this anywhere, okay? Because it was a little shady. But honey, we got it, and we got thin. And the thin didn't last because what we didn't know is that the Adipex was blocking your brain from being hungry. And then when you quit taking it, the blocker went off, and it was like an animal, and you had to eat everything in sight, and you had gained all your weight back and more. Because your body was like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. If you ever think you're going to get on this stuff again, I'm going to take everything you took away from me and then some. It was the opposite of the Lord and his blessings. The Lord says, I'm going to give it everything back tenfold. Your body is like, I'm going to take everything back tenfold. And we're going to mess with your metabolism for a while too. But I like to learn things the hard way. I am a hard-headed lady. I'm going to have to learn things a few times before it takes. And I had a doctor that was ready and willing to give me a little Adipex. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let me see. Somebody has just messaged me. Let's see what she says, because she saw my reel. I'm a pharmacist and have been on Wegovy. Try taking. Everybody, like, I love y'all that when y'all see something and I talk about things and y'all want to fix it. Somebody just gave me something to take for the eggy burps. I'm not on the shot. Yes, I have lost about 75 pounds. People are like, are you on the shot? Honey, by the time y'all knew about the shot, I had already gained my shot weight back. All right. But I appreciate y'all for thinking that I lost all this weight on the shot. If you think I can feel that bad, and just keep on feeling that bad, y'all are crazier than you look. Because it would be time for a shot and I had to get on a plane. And it's like, I cannot feel this bad on an airplane. I want to play for y'all when I took my Adipex and I was up for 36 hours. Ladies, if you're going to be on an Adipex and you're going to be up for 36 hours, it would behoove you, call a girlfriend, document it, do some Instagram notes, just so you can just remember it. You don't want to forget it, okay? And so what I did is I took it. I didn't know this was going to happen, but golly, I was up for days. And so I did what anybody would do. I called my friend Hugh Hauser. If you're not listening to Hugh Hauser, honey, you got to. He is in Nashville. He is a national treasure. He could be our national treasurer, because he would make sure that there was enough money set aside for us to all get, handbags and hairdos. His best friend is Leanne Morgan. His other best friend is Reese Witherspoon. He does Hugh and Friends. Reba McEntire will be there, but he's just so humble about it because these are just his friends. Because he's like old Nashville. He's Nashville back when Shoney's was the best coffee and best of Nashville. Okay, I sent him a text and said, "How much for you to do Meg's wedding? She is 15 and has never been on a single date, but I want a man on the dance floor making cannoli at the reception. Would prefer shirtless, but also need a date during peak hydrangea season. Isn't that what all mothers need?" And he was like, "Honestly, the whole staff could be shirtless and we'll start auditions a month out." Um, okay. This is I am on Adipex, and I'm just gonna play my message I sent to Hugh. And my handbag addiction. But I get them. I buy vintage. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. My love of handbags. But we could do it where we're just like. I have just pitched him a podcast idea for us to do a podcast together and how we would do it and how we would work it out. And I told him he could say no, but he would be wrong. And he has said yes to it, but we're just busy. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Coming up with scenarios for weddings. I was even thinking that I could almost make us like a Monopoly board, and we played Monopoly, and you would you move 3 steps, and it was like Daddy asked for the budget, and we have 30 seconds to explain what we would do if Daddy wants to know the budget. And also, let's just be clear that if Dad needs a budget, he is just feeling out of control, and that's on the mother to take care of. That would not be on us to take care of Daddy needing a budget. Mama, that's your job. That is your job to take care of Daddy wanting to know about the budget. Honey, this is about embezzlement. Okay? Yes. When you think I do stand up, Tim doesn't know how much I pay for stuff. He doesn't. Well, he's starting to. He is starting to. It's a problem. Think on that. Here it comes. If it was, I want to start a new one. Okay, because then if Hugh and Ellen plan a wedding, when that is successful, we could do other like little short form things like Hugh and Ellen get Lily Jane ready for Rush, or we do could be amazing. Hugh and I on a podcast would be the world's not ready. The world's not ready. And then while my main goal is for you and I to sell tickets to our show because it's just another way for people to learn about our hilarity. Or get some corporate events. It would be corporate events pay. Let me tell you, there's a lot of money in corporate events. Tickets, whatever it takes to not have to work a real job ever again. I don't want a real job. I do not want a real job. Okay. Hey, don't clutch your pearls at me. I took half an Adipex yesterday at 8 a.m. I haven't been to sleep. I laid there. But anyway, we're going to drive to Atlanta. Hopped up on half an Adipex 24 hours later. Bless it. I feel like if you're going to do Adipex, you probably need to do some other recreational drugs because you can't just go nothing, half an Adipex. Bless it. Okay, I love you to pieces. I know this has been a fever dream, but it is what it is. Okay, so I drove to Atlanta, hopped up on half an Adipex, y'all, half an Adipex, went and did a religious TV show and talked about how much I love Jesus because I do love Jesus. And I talked about how much he meant to me in my life. And then I drove back home from Atlanta. He's put, Diane, this all has potential. I don't know my name this week, but can we discuss next week? I'm so excited for you and your meth day. Because you never know when these days are going to happen. Here's what I sent to him that night. Okay, yes, we will talk next week. I hope you are so busy, and I hope you are just swimming naked in money. I'm also happy to report that after 36 solid hours, a God-fearing woman on half an Adipex will feel like, oh, I could use a nap. But you know what? Also, if I found some glue, I could probably come wallpaper something. I could pick up a craft. Last night at midnight, I was Googling, could I just monogram my own tea towels? Because, I know all the basic stitches because I am, well versed in the Southerly arts, and I was Googling how to
How do I polish Meg's baby cup from when she was born that's silver and it's just rotten in a box? Anyway, but so at 6 hours, a woman of God will start to come alive. God bless. God bless. Such a blessing that I'm so well versed in the dietary medical field.
Yes.
That,
yes. It's a blessing.
A younger me this morning would have thought, oh, I've got a big day today. Maybe I should just take another half.
No.
Maybe a bump, I think is what they call it. Maybe I can get a little bump, and that would get me through. But thankfully, my training has taught me, no, honey, you're just going to have to deal with whatever happens. Whatever wrath comes upon you as you drive from Atlanta to Birmingham and do a Christian talk show on half an Adipex, you're just going to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So I did not take another bump, because that's how you spiral. That's how you spiral.
It's how you lose your kids.
Find yourself to have, overdosed on prescription weight loss pills. Call me. I'm here. I'm here to walk that road with you. You will not have to walk alone as I have. I'm basically a missionary.
Basically.
I'm basically a missionary. If my shoe had a buckle, I'd be a pilgrim. Okay, I just love you to pieces.
If my shoe had a buckle, I'd be a pilgrim. Okay, I am just out here doing the Lord's work. And he said, I am screaming. Did you just polish a baby cup? And I put, I'm now in the mission field. No man shall work off half a Adipex alone. And then I sent him a beautiful picture of my Aunt Jen in front of my mother's fruit display from a wedding. I'm just saying. So yeah, if you do something stupid like take an Adipex, send voice notes to your friends so they can make fun of you and you can laugh at yourself. And truly, if you can't laugh at yourself, don't take half an Adipex. And you really also, ladies, let's take this into consideration before you're crazy. Before you say, can I speak to the manager? You got to ask yourself, that manager might be on half an Adipex. That manager might be ready to roll. And these new kids don't understand that. The person you're ready to fight with, we don't know what they're on. They could be on Adipex and something else. We're so lucky. I wasn't on anything but that. Okay? And some of you are going, wait a minute, she talked about this in some of her sketches. I did. I wish that some of the funny things I talk about weren't real. They are. They're so real. What are you going to do? I love y'all. I absolutely love y'all. Who here remembers the day? Oh, it was a beautiful day that the new guidelines came out and we decided that all we needed to do were fat grams. Okay. And then they had to legally put the fat grams in the nutrition. They had other nutrition things, but like a can of Coke had the fat grams and Coke had no fat. And all of a sudden we were like, why are we worried about drinking Coke when it has no fat? As long as we only had 10 fat grams a day, we were fine. We were eating Snackwells and Coke, just getting diabetes like it was nobody's business. What a time to be alive. What an absolute time to have been alive. I remember having a grilled cheese with fat-free cheese, bread. I can't believe it's not butter. And a Coke. And what a time. What a time to be alive. I would like to say that I am no longer on Adipex. I don't have what it takes. I don't have what it takes. That girl is gone. I don't know where she is. The girl that can handle an Adipex is gone. And I just took the half. Ladies, if you haven't taken one, you got to cut them in half. You got to do it. But don't you just miss that you do that and you can feel your hair growing? It's a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. I hope this has been a great walk down memory lane. Y'all, I am live in Texas. I'm live in Fort Lauderdale, I hope. We still don't know. My agent hasn't given me a ticket count and nobody's called to cancel the show. So I'm hoping that some of y'all have gotten some tickets in Fort Lauderdale. It's my greatest joy is making y'all laugh. It's the reason why I do everything. I love to make people laugh, and laugh gives me energy, and y'all laughing. And life can be hard, y'all. We are just in this messy middle of life and we got to laugh through it. So if you're doing this, if you're listening, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like we're just going to let this Adipex be a standalone issue. Tomorrow we're going to talk about new money versus old money because I think it's fun. And we're not going to have an intro or outro. I have a very type B personality, so that's the reason why we're like skipping around things. I actually paid someone to record a podcast for me and get about 3 episodes. And so that way I could shop it around. And a couple of things I learned. Number one, get the price up front. Now, I think we really learned that too from Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. She told us to get the money up front. You got to get the cost up front. I thought I did the right thing. I said, how much an hour? And he said, it's this much per hour. Well, I didn't factor in how long he was going to take to edit. I thought that I was in the studio for this long. I had it in about an hour. And I ended up owing him $1,000 because he also had to charge me for the intro and the outro. And I'm like, look, my girls don't need that. We don't need all that. But I love the concept. It was called Sunday School, and it was taking our favorite Bible verses and giving them a 2026 spin, the lens of 2026. What does it look like? What's Ruth looking like in 2026? What's her mother-in-law looking like in 2026? I can tell you one thing, her mother-in-law's not telling you got birthing hips. So I will probably go back and re-record those here and just do them as some bonus Sunday schools. I wish I had that $1,000 back. Can't tell you how many times I wish I had it, but I paid the bill and I learned the lesson. So let me learn those lessons for you, ladies. Okay, wherever you are, if you're in carpool, I love you. If your daughter is texting you right now from college, I love you. I hope that I've helped make your ride home a little bit better. I hope that I've given you just something to talk about with your girlfriends. Okay. And listen, I want to tell you this right now. If you're still here, you deserve a couple of hours out of your week, a couple of hours out of your month. You deserve some time with your girlfriends. Okay. Y'all get together, whether it's just a little gossip between the timeouts at your kids' ball games. And by gossip, I don't mean real gossip. I don't mean talking ugly about people. I mean, did you see what she said? Talk about me. Discuss the memes you're sending back and forth in real life. Did you read that book? Oh, honey, I read that book. I want you saying stuff like that with your girlfriends. You need it. Okay. Is so-and-so feeling better? She's not. Let's send her some food. Okay. Her meal train is full. Let's just go visit with her. Let's just get a wild hair and stop by her house. Okay. That's what I want you to do. We got to get together. These phones are fun. These podcasts are fun. Nothing beats you and your girlfriends together. Call your girlfriends. Hey, let's get a wild hair and let's go to Ellen's show and just sit in the office and sit in the audience and laugh. And then after we're going to go get dinner. All right. Y'all gather around. Be together. That is what makes life so much fun, is just being together with your girlfriends. All right. I love you to pieces. I love you to pieces. Thank you for letting me make you laugh. Thank you for being here with me. Go get together with your girlfriends in real life. There's nothing better. Absolutely nothing better. Unless it's a body cam video. Okay. You give me some body cam footage of somebody going nuts. I'm in. I am in. Okay. I love y'all to pieces. I love you to pieces. Go have a good day.